empathy is the default state of the human mind. In general, you don't care about very much. You don't care that there's car crashes all around the world right now. You don't care that people are dying and getting shot. Maybe if you're told about something and you feel personally invested in it for some reason that happened in your town, you care. But in general, things happen all the time and you don't give a fuck. You don't really care. So why does everybody give a fuck and care that Elon's had another kid? Why the moral grandstanding? Why is everyone upset? Why are all these people sitting here trying to pretend to be a good person? I'll tell you why. Because when you are a fucking loser, your only justification for losing is that you're a better person than the winner. I'm losing at life. And I look at the winners, and you can't argue that Elon's a winner. He's running the fucking government. He's putting fucking rockets in space. You can say, Andrew, you're glazing Elon. I'm talking objective facts. He's a winner. You are using his platform to tweet to your 83,000 followers. And if you didn't have his platform, if he didn't give it to you, you would be insignificant, unknown nobody. And you're sitting there insulting the guy. Because he's a winner, you're a loser. So your only justification for being a loser is, well, he's a winner and I'm a loser, but I'm a better person than him because I stick to my morals. I'm a good guy. You know, life only kept me down because I was doing the right thing. People fuck. I know this is like fucking mind-blowing to you. People have sex. People fuck. Maybe you don't, because your wife won't let you. But real G's out here, we fuck. Every day, we have endless options of women to fuck, and they'll all take a baby. Why wouldn't they? Because we're winners. I admit, I'm biased, right? I've got some vested interest in this argument, because I have multiple baby mamas. I have a whole bunch of baby mamas, a whole bunch of kids. And the people who don't do that, because they can't, not because they don't want to, because they're not big enough, not strong enough, not rich enough, not enough women will give them children, will sit there and go, oh, you don't raise your kids. Of course I do. You know what's funny about fatherhood? Fatherhood is measured in quality, not quantity. If you genuinely think that Elon Musk's future children, spending an hour with him a week after he puts rockets in space and colonizes Mars, and hopefully with Trump as the forever dictators of the United States walk around the Oval Office and watch him command the planet Earth, will not be raised properly because they don't spend 12 hours a day with him, you're an idiot. An hour a day with Elon will teach you more about how to be a man as a son than 12 hours a day of watching your dad sit around being a fucking couch potato. Because most of these dads saying, no, you gotta be with your kids full time. You don't make an impact on your children because you're not fucking important. Because if you were important, you couldn't be with your kids full time. You'd be doing something that matters. Men went away to war, came back with the story. My dad raised me an hour a week. I'm better than all of you motherfuckers. You're watching my video. I don't watch yours. I'm the most famous man in the fucking world. World champion, billionaire. I did all this. An hour a week. Because when my dad came home, he was the man. When you're at home all day, every day, you're not the man. Because you have no stories. You're too busy sipping for your wife. Do you cook dinner together? Is that what you do? Are you a real man, a real husband? Me and the wife cook dinner together. I'll chop the onions, love. No wonder your son's a fucking homo. Bruv. My sons come here, watch me beat the shit out of someone. We spar, we train. I get them in line, they do their fucking katas. They know I'm the boss. Yes sir, no sir. See you next week. Of course, when I say this, losers will, no, that's not how it works. You gotta be home all the time because your wife wants you home. And a lot of this hate on Elon and hate on me and hate on Pavel. Don't forget about Pavel. He has over 100 kids. Owner of Telegram, another good friend of mine. Is that, why is it all the famous, rich, billionaires want to just impregnate endless women and have genetic progeny? And why is it all the brokies who nobody fucking cares about are sitting at home going, no, you need to love your wife more? You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. You are controlled by a woman, and the reason you are mad at Elon is because he is not. Elon wakes up every day and focuses on his mission. Focuses on saving the government and putting rockets in space. When he sees a female, like the Repopulator 9000 cyborg, he's like, I can impregnate, boom, baby, on with the mission. As you should do as a man. I'm the same. I love women. I love children. But I ain't speaking to a woman unless she's giving me a kid. Well, what, am I fucking gay? If I hang around with a girl, the only intention is to get a baby out of her. What the fuck else am I talking to her about? I got shit to do. I got a fucking empire. I gotta make money. I wanna hang with my brother. I wanna play Smash Bros. I got shit to do. You think I'm gonna sit around with a chick and do what? Watch romantic movies like you. Chop the onions. I'm a real man. I'm a real man. Here's the truth of it. When you are an apex predator, when you are an alpha male, you have to give less of yourself to garner genetic progeny from a female than if you are a beta male. If you are a beta male, a woman will only have your kid if you give up your life to her. She only trusts you enough to give you a child if you're home every day, cooking dinner with her, being her best buddy, watching movies, snuggling under the blanket. If you cock hard enough, she'll give you a kid. But when you're a real G, please understand, gentlemen, I say this without satire. Please understand, I walk in a club, I say to a bitch, hello, want a baby? Yeah. Because I'm Andrew fucking Tate. You can't do that. So what you will do is insult me for doing that. Because you have to sit at home and hold hands with your wife. You're not mad at Elon, you're mad at your wife. You're not mad at me, you're mad at your wife. You're all mad at your wives because your wives run you. That's the real problem. That's why all these conservatives hiding behind morality when they're truthfully just cucked losers are upset that the most rich man on the planet has had another baby. What, you think he ain't gonna pay for fucking diapers? The fuck do you care for? Then you can't afford a kid. You'd have as many kids as me, double digits, if you could afford it. You can't. That's why you're mad. You can't. And if you had my money, your wife would tell you, I don't want any more kids. But babe, please babe. No, I don't want any more. Buy me a Birkin handbag. Okay, why? Okay. Okay, after I chop the onions. Because you're a homo. You're not G enough to play it like Elon, or like me, or like Pavel. Have another kid. I don't want one. Safe. You want one? Anyone? Anyone? I don't have a kid. Safe. Cool. Baby. Bang. All right. Here's your money. See you once a week. Oh, we want to hold hands. No. Play Smash Bros. That's what women are for. Women give life, and men rule over it. I only talk to bitches who give me babies. I ain't talking to no woman for any other reason. They have nothing to say I care about. I want children. Give me children. That's it. So when I see these fucking conservatives, you're all just mad that you're unimportant. It's really amazing to me that people do not have the cerebral capability to look in the mirror and realize that none of you matter. In 100 years, they'll remember Elon's name. In 100 years, they'll remember my name. In 100 years, all of our double-digit children will still be alive. You are a nobody who only exists on a Twitter account, which will probably soon be deleted if you keep running your mouths. And when you die, you and your shit 2 kids, no one's gonna remember you, talk about you, you're not gonna be on the fucking internet, no one gives a shit about any of you, but you have such a strong opinion on one of the most famous and important men on the fucking planet. All this moral grandstanding is garbage. You know, conservatives attack me. Andrew used to have a webcam business. Andrew's a pimp. If you've ever watched porn, if you've ever watched porn, you can't be mad at me. Why are you mad at the man who made the product when you consume the product? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why you have your moral grandstanding. Because you can't get your wife to listen to you. And you're jealous. I got 20 women to obey me and make me money. That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Andrew. We love you. A little army of hotties. You could never do that. You could never pull that off. So you pretend you're morally outraged. You're just a loser and I'm just a winner. Think I give a fuck about a little bit of Romanian jail? I live the best life ever. Give a fuck. I don't mean no business. Take me back, Judge. So all this moral grandstanding is garbage. Because you're all jerking off to porn. Aren't you? Don't pretend you never looked. I know. All bullshit. The ultimate masculine imperative is to become so important that you do not have to sacrifice your time and energy, wants and desires to procure children from females. The ultimate masculine objective is to become so rich, so important, so strong and so respected that you get babies from women without the women controlling your life. Whether you like it or not, this is the truth. You beta males have to sacrifice your life. You have to marry her. Marriage is important. It's so important because she told me I had to. I believe in it. The Bible. Then why are you reading? Then why are you jerking off the porn? You read the fucking Bible. Shut the fuck up. You're a liar. You got married because she wouldn't get pregnant unless you married her. So you got fucking stuck with the shit end of the deal because you're a dipshit. You think I need to marry a bitch to get a fucking baby? You think Elon needs to marry a bitch to get a fucking baby? You know all of what I'm saying is true. And you can't stand it. Because Elon having endless kids reminds you you're a loser. Me having endless kids reminds you you're a loser. Pavel having 100 kids reminds you you're a loser. Because you haven't got enough hours in the day to cuck to your wife, be a man that matters, and find more women to have children with. Animal kingdom. And no, we're not completely animals, but we have some characteristics. What does the big lion do? He impregnates the women. He sits around under the tree. It's his territory. That's it. Give me my babies. Bring me something. Bring me some food. Coffee. 2 coffees. You know? What does the beta male lion do? Run around after the women. You see the beta male gorillas grooming the girls. What does the real G do? Give me kid, next, kid. Beta males are all like, oh, groom you. I'll marry you. This is just basic dynamics, gentlemen. Do not fall for the moral grandstanding for these fucking dorks. Because they're nobodies. Nobodies have a lot of opinions. For some reason, they always have. If they were a bit more humble, perhaps they could do better in life. If they knew better about life, they'd do better in life. They're all just sitting at home, 1 or 2 kids, midwife, chopping onions. Fucking losers. Elon's conquering the world. He has endless genetic progeny, as I do. If you want to say that makes me a bad dad, my very simple rebuke to that is that I'm Andrew motherfucking Tate. I change people's lives when they interact with me. When you meet somebody on the street you never met before, their life doesn't change. When you talk to somebody, their life doesn't change. They'll meet you and they'll sit with you for 6 hours and they'll continue about their life and they'll go, did you meet that guy? Yeah, I think I know him. When I meet somebody for 10 minutes, their eyes light up. I met Andrew Tate. I watched all his videos. He changed my life. Andrew Tate, he changed my life. I started going to gym. I started making money. Andrew Tate, if I have an impact on motherfuckers I don't even know with a few minutes, you think I can't have more impact on my children in an hour than a loser like you has full time? Don't hate me because I'm better than you. Don't hate me because I can speed run it. Fucking heroes speed run shit. You want to win at life, you got to speed run it. Get rich quick, get a baby, boom, speed run fatherhood. Get his little ass, push him over, get him up. Welcome to the real world, son. Boom, done. And anybody who has a problem with my parenting style, I have a simple challenge for you. In 15 years, my sons fight your sons. Come on, you're home all the time. You're chopping onions. You're going to make them real men. I guarantee my kids kick the living fuck out of yours. And the reason I know that is because this is how I was raised. I saw my dad an hour a week, and I kicked the living fuck out of you. In fact, I managed to go from the lowest possible rung on the socioeconomic ladder to one of the most famous and respected people on the fucking planet. What have you achieved? With your great parent? What have you achieved? Go on, tell me something. Impress me. Fucking nothing. My kids will kick the fuck out of yours. And I should probably end the video here, but I'm going to make one more point. For all the women complaining, oh, she's not even married, single mother. Women love kids out of wedlock. Women love it. Women only want to get married to you if you're a beta male. Women only give demands to the betas. If she's saying to you, you have to marry me and you can't cheat on me and you can't have other baby mamas, she doesn't respect you. That's right, your wife, she doesn't respect you. When she said to you, well, if you cheat, I'd leave, she doesn't respect you. Because guess what? That same woman, if she met a man she actually respected, she'd be part of his harem. Guaranteed. And when you talk about like, In the 1950s, in the 1960s, people got married, everything was traditional. Shut up. You know what happened in the 1950s? A girl who worked in the local diner met a guy who worked in the local diner, took dick behind the milkshake machine, got knocked up, then had to get married. While the man then had 3 or 4 other kids, which they didn't even do a DNA test for. And we don't even know if they were his or not. And if the wife complained, she got told to shut the fuck up. Like the world was traditional, and we need to get back to marriage. It's all gay. And I've made this video before insulting white people, because white people are the only people who don't seem to get this. You're being outpopulated. Hello, white people, you're gonna go extinct because you're too busy listening to women. Women are in charge of you. The only race on the planet that listens to women are white people. You think black people listen to women? You think Indians listen to women? Nobody listens to women. Only white people sit there and go, my wife said we're just gonna have the one, but I want to live in a white nation. Newsflash, dickhead! If your wife said just the one, get another fucking wife. Get a new bitch. Oh, you can't. So because you can't, you're gonna pretend you don't want to and that it's bad. Well, I've been married 28 years. Wife jack, homo. People fuck. Kids come to life. White people need to take more pages out of Elon's book. Get rich, impregnate women. They're happy, they're paid for, he's happy, he has children, he's focused on his missions instead of sitting around holding some woman's hand. I'm not done. You know how many men dedicate their lives to their fucking woman? I see it all the time. I've been sitting with my female, practically ignoring her for 6 hours as I work. Ignoring her. And I'm sitting with another couple, and every 10 minutes he's saying to his wife, you okay? You want a drink or anything? Checking on the bitch. What are you checking on, bro? We're supposed to be making money. What are you checking on? What, she's going to develop an issue in 15 minutes if you don't check on her? Fucking get rid of her. Replace her. She's not even pregnant. When's the kids coming? Oh, well, we're thinking in a couple years we can get married first, and she said she'll give me a baby if I can provide her a second home, and we need another car and a bit more in savings. So basically she said to me that if I completely enslave myself and make enough money and prove that I'm a good little bitch, that she might allow me to have 1 or 2 male children. You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser. All you conservatives at home, my wife, you're all fucking losers. You can hate me all you want, you're all fucking losers. Losers! If you were a winner, you'd do what Elon's doing. Sorry, I just kicked your ass at Diablo. Sorry, my rocket's on the moon. Sorry, I'm busy. Yeah, give me my 15th child. Sorry. Oh no, I'm not replying to your text messages. I'm busy at SpaceX. Oh, you want to pee your pants on Twitter, baby mother number 9? I don't care. Shadow ban. This is the winner's mentality. And when I say these things, someone always says, well, if I have kids with endless women, what if she doesn't let me see the kids? It's like, why the fuck do you care if the mother of your children's upset? You know? It's actually, if I had a girlfriend who was upset and she didn't have kids with me, she could leave or get a new man or whatever. I mean, I still don't give a fuck because I'm built different. But once you have my kid, where the fuck are you gonna go? Who's raising little Andrew Tate? Nobody. Nobody, bro. My face. My dad's the top G. You're just the one who pays the bills because dad's busy with other women. No one's raising. Once you have my kid, you're done. You're done. If your woman won't let you see the kids, here's a life hack. Gentlemen, life hack. Have more. Get a new wife who's younger and hotter and have new children and just drop subtle hints. Like, I know you don't let me see the kids anymore, but that's fine because my new ones are better. Subtle. You know? Son 2.0 is cooler than Son 1.0, so there's nothing that'll make a woman want you to see her kids more than you having a new family from a hotter bitch. Then she'll be like, you deadbeat! You're a deadbeat dad! You better come see these kids! Then you get to see all the kids. Easy peasy. And I know what you white people are gonna say, because black people, You white people would be like, what if she sues me in divorce court? Let me tell you something. If a woman drags you in front of a judge and sues you for all your money, she doesn't respect you. She already thinks you're a pussy. You had a kid with her, she won't let you see the kid, and now she's gonna drag you in front of a judge and say, Your Honor, he's a bad person, he hit me, and take half your money, because she doesn't respect you. And the reason she doesn't respect you is because she knows you're not really about it. I'm gonna tell you a real story. It's a real story from my personal life. I'm gonna open up to you. One of my baby mothers and I weren't particularly getting along, because she found out when her child was born, another child was born only a week later. And she was all upset. I was playing Smash Bros with Tristan. So I wasn't, I don't go to births. I'm not gay. Like, it's all paid for. You're in Switzerland in a luxury eco hospital. It's fine. I'm on house arrest for human trafficking. So just have to fuck a baby, all right? Anyway. She was like, well, I need to make sure we're not going to be together anymore. I said, that's fine. That's best case scenario, not to be together anymore. That's fantastic. That's great. So you're telling me you're going to raise the kid, you're going to do all the work, and I just get new baby mamas, and okay, that's fine. I'll give you $100,000 a month, which is the same I give all my baby mothers. You all get $100,000 a month. You get to drive around in your little Bentley. You get a big mansion, and you have the children, the little Andrew Tates. That's the deal. This silly woman, well, if we're not together, why do I only get $100,000 a month? Only... I'm fucking generous. I'm nice. Kids are cheap. Mothers are expensive. Kids cost pennies. It's the mother who wants Gucci. So I said to her, look, you can be my friend and be rich, or you can go to war with me. But I promise you, I will burn it all to the fucking ground before you get a penny. I will be living homeless with Tristan, sitting, drinking out of a bottle of whiskey behind a trash can, laughing about how you got nothing, before I fucking give you more than I want to give you. That is a promise to you and to God. And it's true. I mean, if you're the kind of person who can have half their wealth stolen by a woman, you're a dummy anyway. Hello, trust fund, offshore, boating accident, think outside the box. DCAL and 4 different federal agencies have been investigating me for 4 years. And guess how much of my money they stole? Fucking none. Hello guys, I'm still rich. Ha, you lose. You think some fucking mid's gonna take it off me? Fuck off. You ain't getting my money unless I give it to you. And I ain't giving it to you unless you're nice to me. So you have to message me nicely. Hello, sir. Thank you for this fantastic, genetically perfect child with your height and muscles and brain and intellect and bravery. And thank you for all this money and this big house and this Bentley I drive around in. Thank you so much, sir. Do you want any more kids? That's how you talk to me. If you say, you better give me. Streets are cold, and I have other children. If I have to lose a couple, I'm built different. It's natural selection. I don't give a fuck, because my son will be raised to be 18 and he'll say, Dad, why were we homeless? I say, because your mother would shut the fuck up. Look at all these other children. Look how I took care of all of them. I tried to take care of your mother, she wouldn't shut the fuck up. Don't hate me, hate her. He'll be 18, he'll get it by then. He'll get women a bit. He'd be like, really? So you wanted to see me once a week, and you wanted to give her $100,000 a month, and you wanted to train me in martial arts, and you wanted to take care of me, and you didn't because my mom wouldn't shut the fuck up? But bitches, bro. Bitches. She tried to take me to court. Take me to fucking court. I will burn this house down before I give it to anybody. I will burn it down. And the greatest thing is, women know this about me. They know it. In the middle of this argument, the woman in this tale said, you know what, Andrew? You're right. I know you'd rather lose everything than give me more than you said you were going to give me. Yeah. My women respect me, bro. You don't get any of this. You're probably watching this going, no way. I'm coming in a minute. I'm just watching a video. No way, bro. It's actually interesting. Women, it's kind of like a billionaires club. Like you people at the bottom imagine how billionaires act in their little secret clubs? Women are so different than you can imagine at the top. You don't understand. You've never stood on a stage with thousands of women screaming your name like I did when I said Escape the Matrix. You've never had thousands of women sending you love letters each day, begging for your children. You've never been a global icon. You don't get it. But please, I'm trying to tell you, When you're at the top, women are so much different than you think. So much different. And you're denying it because you don't want to accept it, just not at the top. In fact, most of you watching this, if I wanted your mid, I could take her. If I messaged your bitch, she'd leave you. Luckily for you, I don't want her. I'll tell you another reason these conservative dorks are mad at Elon. They sit and talk about conservative values, traditional values, build the world. False! You know what built the world? Kings! Kings built the world. And there's never been a part of human time anywhere on the planet where kings do not have mistresses and concubines and endless children. This is king business. It would be extremely asinine to argue that Elon's not currently one of the kings of Earth. Multiple baby mamas, multiple children. Trump, king. It's hard to say he's not one of the kings of Earth. Multiple baby mamas, multiple children. Pavel, who owns Telegram, multiple baby mamas, multiple children. The largest cultural force in the last 3 years outside of politics, Andrew Tate, multiple baby mamas, multiple children. This is king business. You peasants are mad, but it's nothing to fucking do with you. You're pretending you wouldn't do it because you can't do it. You're like a broke man. I don't want a Ferrari anyway. You can't. This is king business. Nobody cares about you and your shit kids. You are the consequence. Your lives are the consequences of the king's actions. Elon decides how much tax you're gonna pay. He decides if you have a voice on the internet. Elon does. Trump decides how your life goes. I influence your children's mind. Me. Not you. Not you, super dad. Me. Your kids love me more than they love you. We're kings. This is king business. You don't get it. And the funniest thing is, Elon having children only highlights to the fact that he's a king and you're not. That's why you're mad. You don't care that Elon had a kid. You're mad that a king is doing king shit in your face because it reminds you you're not a king. And it pisses you off. And then what you do is say, well, those kids are going to be raised only an hour a week because he has so many. Da-da. If his kids are going to fail so badly, riddle me this. Who succeeds the king? Because it seems to me like the sons of the kings are going to be ruling your shit kids in about 30 years from now. So who really wins? The king is succeeded by his offspring. Your kids are going to succeed you as a fucking peasant, as a fucking nobody. And you're going to sit there at the bottom, and Elon's son and Trump's son are going to run your kid's life. So who the fuck are you to complain that he's having endless progeny when this progeny will rule your bloodline, as will mine? Those are the Tate boys. The Tate boys. What, Andrew Tate's kids? Those are Andrew Tate's sons? Yes, because I'm a king. You wouldn't get it because you're a fucking peasant. All my baby mamas knew what they were getting into when they got with the big G. They knew. They knew. Tristan the same. They knew. They know. All those rules women have are for men like you. They're not for the winners. Your wife who you love so much, she definitely had a threesome. Just wasn't with you. My wife wouldn't have a threesome. Oh yeah, she did. Just wasn't with you. She did already. It just wasn't with you. It was with men like me. Because women love that shit. And they love babies out of wedlock. In fact, there's nothing a woman wants to hear more from a man than I'll get you pregnant. If you're a winner. I mean, if you say that to a bitch, she's like, what the fuck? No, I don't even know you. If I say that, she'll be like, really? Promise? Yes, bitch, I promise. If I wanted to live as honestly as possible, what would I be doing? Well, I would be training, attempting to be as strong as possible. I'd be telling the people I love that I love them, because that's true. I'd be telling the people I care about that I care about them. But if you want to be an honest person or a good person, perhaps these are the most important things you can actually do with your day. It's train, it's dedicate yourself, work hard, make money, achieve things, love those you love. Because so much of the world is garbage. If you scroll Twitter, every single person is full of shit. Every single person contradicts. Every single person picks and chooses. The right is just as bad as the left. Nobody is perfect. All the politics is a mess. It's all a mess. It's all fucked. But if you go to the gym and you lift that weight, you get stronger. Isn't that beautiful? The simplicity of it. Isn't simplicity beautiful to say, the world is so complicated, but if I go to the gym and I lift this weight, I get stronger. Isn't that enough to give you some peace, some grounding in the chaos? For you to finally find an anchor in rough seas, for you to wake up and think, I'm going to dedicate myself and I'm going to train and I'm going to get stronger tomorrow because I trained today and I didn't want to train and I was tired, but I did it anyway. And now I'm stronger than I was. And that is 100% definitively true. No subjectivity, no maybes, no ifs, no buts. It is a fact. And it is a fact that I have constructed, that I have made a reality myself. Like I am the constructor of the universe. I can force this outcome. And forced outcomes are what you're always looking for in life. If you play chess, and I'm not so good, but if you do play, you understand that your calculative ability is massively increased with forced outcomes. If I make a move, and he can make 3 possible reply moves, it's very difficult for me to calculate into the future. But if I make a move and it's check, and he only has 1 move, and then I make another move and it's check, and he only has 1 move, I can now calculate far deeper into the future because I have forced a move from my opponent. Forced moves allow you to plan for the future more effectively. So you should always be looking for forced moves in your life. You should be sitting here saying, okay, if I do this, if I go out and party tonight, 10 things can happen. I can get in a fight and die. I can get in a fight and win and get a good KO video that makes me famous on the internet, but I catch a criminal case and I go to jail for 6 years. I can meet a beautiful woman and we can fall in love and have a baby. I can meet a beautiful woman and she can break my heart and waste my time. I can get drunk for no reason. I can have a great time. I can have a bad time, etc. There's a whole bunch of outcomes. But if you say I go to the gym and I lift those weights, what happens? I get stronger. Most likely that's what's going to happen. I doubt you're going to go to the gym and lift those weights, and all of a sudden, because you lifted those weights, you're going to impress somebody who stares in the window from the outside and they decides to buy you a car and you get a brand new car for going to the gym. That's probably not going to happen. What is going to happen is that you're going to get stronger. It's a forced move. It's a forced move, and it's a universal truth. And I am going to try, as I optimize my life, which is a permanent and never-ending task, to not only always look for forced moves, but also to be looking for the truth of all things. And I think that's what I love so much about competition, because competition is a search for truth. Who's better? Well, there's one person here and there's a person there. Well, who's actually better? Well, I believe I'm better because of this. You believe because you're better because of this. Okay, let's set the rules. Let's set the parameters of the competition. Let's have a competition and let's see who's true. Let's see the truth. Let's see who's better. Search for truth is a very beautiful thing. It was straight back to business. That's one of the best things about masculine friendship. You know, girls have to check in with each other every 10 seconds or they stop being friends. Or if they wear the same outfit on the same day, it's a huge drama in the group chat. You know, with men, you can just not see your friend for 3 years. I'm sure during those 3 years, lots of things have happened during his life. Like his kid's been growing up. I think he has another one. And I say I think because I don't know. This is what I mean. Who cares? Who cares? Hey, the last 3 years, what's been going on? Hey, what's happened? Hey, tell me everything. I don't give a fuck. Hey, how are you? Fine. You say fine even if you're not fine, and you just move on with life. And moving on with life is picking on each other because it's funny. So it's so interesting to watch this clip knowing we just got reunited with Luke and we're straight back to the same old things we've always been doing. Haven't skipped a beat. We were talking about truth, so let's talk about the post-truth world. We were in the post-truth world with the mainstream media. That has been dented. I wouldn't say it's been destroyed, but the matrix has certainly been cracked. Let's move on into this AI garbage. I said to Tristan this morning, are influencers even going to exist? You do understand within 3 to 5 years, you're not going to be able to tell the difference at all, right? How does that affect society for a pretty girl who makes her money on Instagram with pictures of herself? Surely it's damaging. How do you prove you're real anymore? I mean, yes, surely men are going to want to talk to real girls, but only if they meet them. If they don't get to actually meet the girl, if they just look at her pictures and talk to her online, then it can be completely automated, fully AI machine. What about streamers? I mean, I'm Andrew Tate, perhaps I have a name, but is the average streaming experience going to be a complete AI algorithm? What are we going to be able to do to decipher truth from falsehood coming in the few short years? I'm genuinely curious. This whole quest for truth as a whole, I think, is a very interesting subject. And how it's all going to play out, especially online. And how we find the truth in our own lives. I don't trust any of the messages I get anymore. I don't trust voice notes. I think they're AI. I don't trust screenshots. I think they're AI. I don't trust anything. So it's like, well, how do I know what's true and what isn't? I mean, I can trust my own eyes. I like to think, as long as it's not online. If I escape the internet, escape the slop, escape the endless tirade of garbage, and I walk around like the man in the old Kung Fu series where he walks around and gets in adventures and uses his Kung Fu to destroy his enemies. If I do that, if I just march around Earth with lethal capability, perhaps I can discover things that I believe to be true with my own senses. Do you understand what I'm saying? I did this during COVID. Everyone says, Andrew, how'd you know COVID was a lie on day one? I looked outside. The news says, don't trust it. Let me go have a look. I'm one of those guys. I'm old fashioned. You remember your dad used to say that? Go have a look. You'd say, is it raining? The weather says it's raining. Let me go have a look. A good old fashioned look. I'm a looker. I went outside, drove around in my car, saw people walking up and down. And I looked around and I thought, I don't see any germs. Now, some people would call me crazy for that, but who was right? I'm a looker. You know? Every single thing you see on the internet is soon to be bullshit. I don't believe these signal chat leaks, to be honest. I don't believe it. Are they real? Maybe. Can they be proven real beyond reasonable doubt? No. So what are we doing here? Jerking off over pixels on a screen. They are going to get you to give up your human energy and your time and your calories concerned with pixels on a screen, which could be completely generated from an AI machine deliberately to psyop you. And it's a scary world, because how do you now function on this earth knowing that basically everything to a degree can be manipulated? And in 3 to 5 years, you're not going to be able to tell if a person you're speaking to on the internet is even real. Is that even a real person? So it's almost like we're going to be going back in time. There was a point in human history where you had to go to the private members clubs in certain cities around the world to ensure that you met the important people. And then all of that changed. And they said, you don't have to be in the private members club in New York, because you can meet important people on the internet. And that was the more effective way to meet influential individuals for a while. But I have a feeling we're going to revert back to the real world, where the only way you can know if a person is the person that they say that they are is if you sit with them across a dinner table on planet Earth and visualize them with your eyeballs. All of this meeting girls online is going to get wrecked. All of this, look at this cute fluffy cat online, is going to get wrecked. All of these things are going to vanish, and we're going to go back to the real world, and people are going to be real world maxing. Perhaps things are going to go full circle. I don't know. I'm just talking now. Once you decipher, or once you decide that you can no longer decipher the truth from the fiction on the internet, doesn't the internet lose a lot of its appeal? Isn't the appeal of a cat video the fact that it's a cat doing something unusual? You see a cat and it's playing with a ball. And you're like, oh, look, the cat is juggling. But once AI can make a video that makes it look like a cat is juggling and you can't tell if it's really your cat or not, that video is no longer endearing or interesting. It's the same with a pretty girl. You see a pretty girl, you're like, wow, she's hot. Once AI makes every girl hot. So it only matters if you see these things in real life now. Perhaps we're going to go back to real life maxing. And if we're going to go back to real life maxing, you need real life capabilities. Like a strong body, like the ability to speak and communicate, like a temperament that allows you to respectfully disagree with people who lie to you, like money. Perhaps in 30 years from now, the internet will actually be suffering from the fact that nobody trusts it enough to do the important functions it previously did. But then how do we get our news? Because this is what governments are thinking about. They're thinking, okay, well, we're trying to change people's views on objective reality. The problem is they use their eyes to see something counter to what we say. So why don't we use AI to generate the evidence for what we say and then try and convince people to not go outside and not leave their house and stay in their house and scroll the internet all day so they believe what we show them? One of the only ways left, I would argue, before we find a solution to this conundrum in the following years to knowing if anything's true or not, is to have a look yourself or listen to the eyewitness account of somebody you trust. That's the best thing about having people you trust. I'll give you an example. I've never been to Colombia. Everyone says Colombia is great. Tristan's been to Colombia. I'm like, Tristan, do I need to go to Colombia? No shit. Done. Now I've seen Colombia. My brother, who I trust with all of my heart, has looked with his own eyes. He didn't look at an Instagram page of a hot Colombian girl. He didn't look at a clever TikTok reel of a Colombian influencer. He didn't look at any AI. He didn't read ChatGPT saying it's the best place to go on holiday. He went there with his own eyes and looked around and came back and told me it was a fucking dump, so now I don't need to go. Great. So amplifying your brotherhood and finding more men you trust perhaps is one of the only ways for you to increase your scope beyond the two eyes that are stuck inside of your skull in the coming years. I do believe humanity and all of our genius will find a solution for these problems. But I do think there will be a difficult period in between now and that solution where we lose all grasp on everything on the internet, whether it's true or not. In fact, I now task students of the real world. I want to test something. Put this in the AI campus. I'm now going to say a sentence, and I want you guys to edit the video. Edit my mouth. Use an AI voice changer and try and make me say something else. I'm going to say something, and you're going to try and make me say the opposite. I want to test this, and I want to watch the video. And remember, we're getting exponentially more capable than we previously were. So let's task this to the real world students. My name is Andrew Tate, and I believe that the sky is blue, and I believe in gravity. Right. So I want you to take that clip and change it to me saying I believe the sky is not blue, and I do not believe in gravity. I want you to completely 180 inverse my beliefs and inverse my views, and I want to see that video. Whoever does it most effectively gets a bonus. We'll give you some cash and we'll give you some power level points inside of the real world. And I'm sure it'll be 80% good. And you'll look at it and go, I can tell that's AI. For now. For now. So what's going to happen when people sit on the internet or sit on video or sit on the news and say, yes, and they change it for no? How is the world going to function? What is your plan to deal with this conundrum? Besides viewing it with your own eyes or having brothers you trust who have viewed it with their own eyes. I think this is going to be something we have to deal with within our lifetime. I think this is a very real problem. How do we fix the upcoming conundrum of a post-truth world where the Matrix will construct completely false narratives and completely false paradigms under which they expect you to exist as a slave? You fix it with the real world. So what I need to do now, at the end of this emergency meeting, is call all the real world professors and start having a conversation about how we can get a vetted, trusted source of information directly from the eyes, minds, and networks of all 180,000 the real world students. Curate that information and have like a Twitter feed inside of the app of verified truths. Videos that are not AI and not doctored from trusted sources that I personally vet. Perhaps the real world can become more than just learning how to make money online. Perhaps it can actually be a place online where you escape the lies of online, the real world, like the internet of 2010, before everything became fucked and gay. There's something here. It's providence.
It's like forums.
Even like forums. It's providence. Even the name The Real World perfectly lends itself to this task. So the real world is expanding in many different ways with 2.0. We're going to add some very well-known UFC fighters and have a UFC campus. So not only do you have the fitness campus, you also learn how to fight MMA from UFC fighters, as well as learn how to make money for $50. We're now going to add a portal of objective truths. And I'm going to talk to my team and my experts in AI to find ways to counter the AI machine. How we can construct a portal of truth. That itself, the fact that it is my platform and that there are no bots and that I know everyone who types is a real person and I know who they are, that itself is the best possible gateway I have to deciphering objective truth from lies and disinformation and manipulated matrix propaganda in the coming years. So I need to prepare the platform so that all of the students can also find objective truths easily in real time. I would argue it will take AI professionals to decipher if a video is AI or if a video is genuine. It's going to take AI professionals. The problem is the mainstream media AI professionals will lie, but mine won't. So I can also put a task force together where we analyze videos that come in and decipher if it's AI or not, and you can trust the source because it's Tate. My team. Fact checking from Tate. Tate check. This video's been Tate checked inside the real world. That's not AI. If you can't trust me, who the fuck can you trust? I'm the last guy to lie to you. You can't trust the BBC, you can't trust the MSM, you can't trust any of the political parties, you can't trust anything. The last guy you have left is me. So if I build my platform to offer objective reality, considering the platform itself has always been built on the brutal truths of life, on getting as strong as possible, on becoming as rich as possible, on understanding gender dynamics, on understanding the dynamics of the high-level networking and friendships, on understanding the truth of the real world. My brand has always been built on truth. Then the real world needs to morph into not only a solution for attributing yourself with all of the real world attributes required to be monumentally successful, like the ability to fight, like physical strength, and like finance, and like network, but also allowing you to view the world and see with a fair and level head the actual playing field. Imagine this. Imagine the tactical advantage you will have over the normie when they are consuming the slop from the internet, from mainstream media, from Twitter, where half of it is completely generated by machines and lies, and you only consume the actual truth. Imagine the competitive advantage. Imagine you see a video on Twitter that tells you something about a cryptocurrency coin going up or down, or about to be listed on the New York Stock Exchange, whatever. And then you check inside of the portal of truth and see it's a lie. Now that lie will soon be discovered, but nobody else knows yet. You can short that coin. You can now make money. You will have a competitive advantage because you will have real data points and guaranteed sovereign information. This is my next project, to prepare for the oncoming onslaught. And this is why I like to talk to my friends. This is the whole point of talking to your friends. The whole point of talking to your friends is that you come up with fantastic ideas. I don't know what you do with your friends. Maybe you just sit there and talk shit and nothing good comes of it. I sit there and talk shit. We all make fun of each other. And then a fantastic idea comes up. And then we all work hard and we make the idea come true. That's why I like talking to my friends. All of you watching this were part of this. The end goal of all things is to have a conversation, to identify the problems, to sit there and discuss them with people you trust, and then at the end of it, try and come up with a solution for those problems. If you do that, you will win. If you sit there with your friends and say, here's a problem I have. I'm fat. Here's the solutions which could possibly exist. I go on a diet and go to the gym. And then your friends motivate you to then complete said solution. You're not going to be fat anymore. So you should sit with your friends and not complain, not bitch. Be very action orientated, actionables. Here's the problem. I want to fix it. How would you fix it? How could I fix it? Who do we know who could fix it? Okay, here's a plan. Let's go. So the plan is that for sure across the coming years, the idea of truth is going to be completely evaporated, decimated, desecrated, castrated, crucified. Truth is gone. You can't see any Tate content. You can't access me. I'm not outside anymore. I'm inside of the real world. I've fully escaped the matrix. I've been going out into the matrix trying to find people and pluck them and save them and bring them into the platform for so long. But a time will come where I am done entering the matrix and I will just stay inside the real world. It's where I'll get my information. It's where my friends are. And I'm going to stay there. Escape. Perhaps that's how I finally truthfully escape the matrix. Because I've already escaped, but I keep going back to save you. But a day will come when I retire. And I will have my objective truths. I will have my friends, and I will have all of my capabilities. I think the most dangerous men on earth are the weak men. I think inside of every single man, we're born with a fire inside of us that if we do not control, can destroy ourselves and other people. And if you look at men who have no emotional control, because that's what they're trying to teach us to have. They say, listen, you're a man, you're allowed to just cry all the time and have no emotional control, no stoicism, just react to your emotions. Do you know what happens when you tell men to just react to their emotions? Anger. You have school shootings, you have rape, you have violence. That's what happens when you tell men to have no emotional control. These school shooters are kids with no emotional control. Rapists are men with no emotional control. Violence and the bullshit you see on the street are men with no emotional control. Telling men to not be stoic is going to create a breed of violent young men who have no emotional control, can't control their emotions, and act out on them. That is absolutely and utterly more dangerous to society than me coming along saying, listen, I don't give a fuck how you feel, young man. It doesn't matter how you feel. You have duties and you have responsibilities as an adult, and you must comply and act a certain way regardless of how you feel. That is better for society as a whole, especially as I'm only teaching the tenets of, listen, go to the gym anyway. Doesn't matter. You don't feel like it. Go anyway. Listen, your girlfriend left you. Your heart's broken. You're not allowed to stalk her. She doesn't want you. Get the fuck over it. What I'm saying is good for the world. They're saying, no, act out to your emotions. Cool, you're creating stalkers, rapists, and school shooters. These people are fucking dangerous. I say this all the time. I say the best things that ever happened to me are the worst things that ever happened to me. All the trauma and bullshit I've been through in my life are the best things that ever happened to me. Because as a man, if you've not had a difficult life, you cannot be good at being a man. Being a good man and being good at being a man, they're two slightly different things. But to be good at being a man, you need to have been through so much shit that when the Matrix deletes your entire life from the internet and starts lying about you at mass, and people start doing protests wanting you fucking hung, and they're looking for your family members, and reporters start calling every ex-girlfriend you've ever had, trying to convince them and bribe them to lie, to come out and say you're something you're not, when they're genuinely out to put you in jail, that you can sit there and be focused and stoic enough to go, you know what? Okay, what's the chessboard? What's going to happen? Who's trying to shoot me right now? Nobody. Okay, so it's better than it was a couple years ago. Okay, so X, Y, Z, and plan through it, right? You're never going to be capable as a man if you've not had trauma. The best men ever have had trauma. If you call a police officer, you need a brave police officer. He ain't going to be brave unless he's been through shit. Yeah. He's not going to be brave unless he's been through shit. So we also, as a society, sit and look at men and go, we want, well, there's two kinds of society. There's the matrix society, but the true society, the true women with a brain, they actually, I want a man who's strong, who's supportive, who's intelligent, who financially provides, etc. Then you're going to want a man to some degree who's been through some shit. Yeah. And a man who's internalized it and used it as a weapon. And this is what I say to people. People email me their long lists of all the bad things that happened to them, and I reply, fantastic. You are so lucky. You have all the building blocks to become the exact kind of man you want to be. If none of this shit happened to you, when something else bad happens to you later, you wouldn't be able to deal with it. Fantastic. And he goes, no, but this. He replied again with more excuses. Said, why are you making excuses? I just told you what happened to you is a good thing. You need to reframe your mind. Bad things happened to Batman. They killed his parents. Do you understand? That's why he's Batman. You've just told me you have the building blocks to become you might become top G when I retire. Fantastic. What are you complaining about? He goes, well, what do? I said, you need to work. Take all that trauma. If you're truly heartbroken, my friend, and we've all been there as men, if you're truly heartbroken, you can't sleep. That means you're going to get in fantastic shape. You better hit the gym. You have nothing else to do. Stop watching YouTube. Stop emailing me. I want pictures of you in the gym. Get to fucking work. Heartbreak's a fantastic motivator, as is depression, as is sadness. Great. Look at what's pissing you off and make sure it never happens again. If you were jacked and rich as fuck, she probably wouldn't have left your ass. So get your shit together, right? So this is so important. Trauma is such an important part of being a man. And the Matrix talks of trying to say that trauma is terrible and avoid trauma, or if you get trauma, take a pill, and that's unrealistic. Trauma is going to happen to you, and you as a man need to internalize it, accept it, and weaponize it to become the best version of yourself you can be. And that requires mental strength and stoicism. It does not require, be more emotional. If you're more emotional, you're going to fall apart when shit happens. You're going to end up like Logan Paul, crying your eyes out on TV like a bitch. The men who support me online have their shit together. The men who hate me are fat. The men who have done the takedown videos of me are objectively unattractive individuals. I'm not trying to be insulting, just objectively obese, unattractive individuals, right? People who don't have their life together. It's the same even more with women. You can find 10 women who are sticking up for me, supporting me. They're all beauty queens. And then you find some girl sitting there, some troll sitting in the corner. Andrew's bad for women. So there's a lot to be said there, right? And hate always comes from below. It never comes from above. The people who have their lives together, whether male or female, love me. The people who have failed and they know that the failure is their own fault, and I'm a good mirror, I reflect their own failures at them. Oh yeah, of course they hate me. And that's what's happened here. What's most upsetting is as follows. This whole idea of protecting women and misogyny has been weaponized to attack someone they don't like. These people saying that we need to get them down to some misogynists, they don't give a fuck about women, these people. You think they care? There's some fat troll. There's some dude called Daz who made a takedown video of me who just came out actually on my last podcast. Turns out he was talking to a 13-year-old girl. So he's a fat pedophile. So there's a fat pedophile who did a video on YouTube about me saying that I'm dangerous for women. Got 10 million hits because he's objectively unattractive, saying that he cares about women, but he's a pedophile himself. He doesn't care about women. He's jealous of me. He's jealous of who I am and my lifestyle. So he's found something he can use to weaponize. If he can't make up that bullshit and attack me, how else can he attack me? Can't call me broke. Can't call me dumb. Can't call me stupid. Like, what can he call me? Well, he's better than me at everything, but if I take this and pretend to give a shit, he doesn't give a fuck. I build orphanages in Romania. I have a charity that rescues stray dogs. I take time out of my life replying to emails, saving people from suicide. What the fuck does this guy do for anybody? Nothing. But he's the good person because he gives a shit? No. He's using it as a vehicle to attack somebody who he knows is his superior in every single human metric that can be measured by modern science, and he dislikes me for it. All of this is just weaponized care. Oh, we care so much about, they don't care about fucking anything. They don't care about people. They just dislike me. And that's a very different thing. It's all been false from the beginning. I've seen through it all from the absolute beginning. It's a matrix attack. And like I said, I told you how it happened. YouTube strike, Meta, YouTube, media, Uber, Gmail, Discord, Skype, Twitch, boom, 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 boom. It's all a fucking coordinated hit piece. It's bullshit. I've been saying I said often, if you have a point of view that you are very strong in your adherence to, if you truly believe something, you need to sit and analyze whether it's your own personal experience that makes you believe something, or if someone else or something else has convinced you of this. And if they have, you need to then once again analyze that point of view and analyze who these people are and what they want from you. Do they truly want the best of you? If the news convinces you of something to the point where you're going to argue with your own family members at a dinner table, does the news really care about you more than your family? This is a genuine question. You need to analyze every belief you hold, where it came from, and then analyze what their intentions are. And if you start to do that, you look at something like COVID, for example, it's an easy one. You look at all the bullshit they were saying and you sit here and go, wait, these people don't care about me. If I had diabetes or I needed insulin, or if I had cancer, or if I got in a car crash, anything, they'd be hitting me with medical bills I could never possibly afford. They'd let me die. But they are insisting I take this shot for free, on repeat. This doesn't make sense. And when you encourage people to think for themselves, especially the youth, that's what Socrates got accused of. He's corrupting the youth. And to be honest with you, a huge portion of my fan base were 18 to 23, 24-year-old males. When you have the youth, the masculine youth of the world, thinking for themselves, that's pretty scary to authority. Because it's the masculine youth of the world that is, one, the revolutionaries, and two, also, that's the backbone of the slave force. If you need people to go die in a ditch in Afghanistan, you need them. If you need people to work bullshit jobs in a coal mine with no health care, you need them. If you need people to blindly comply to bullshit, you need them more than anybody, more than you need the feminists and the fucking the liberals. You need the real men to go out there and comply with the bullshit, to live a shitty existence, to purport and prop up a system.
The warrior class.
The warrior class, right? And if enough of these men stand in one place and say this is enough, that's when a revolution happens. Mm-hmm. So this is the most dangerous group of the demographic that the Matrix and the people are trying to control, and they have to have a narrative over, and that's why they're trying to weaken them in every regard. And when I'm sitting there saying, don't listen to the bullshit, become physically strong, think for yourself, prioritize your brotherhood above what the fucking Matrix is telling you, do not blindly comply, resist the slave mind, all these things I'm saying, they just sat there one day and said, wait, the most popular person on the planet is saying, don't listen to our bullshit. Delete. What's actually interesting is, and this is what's really, really important, because it becomes a broader argument than just me and what's happened to me. And I want to make something clear to the social media companies also as a whole. A lot of the things I said were in longer format video on YouTube 3-4 years ago. And the way that social media is being produced and also digested has changed significantly in the last year. It's all TikTok, it's all YouTube Shorts, it's all Instagram stories. TikTok in real time has destroyed the attention span of billions of people. Have you ever watched somebody on TikTok? How long do they give a video before they get bored? How long? Watch someone. Next time you see someone on TikTok.
2 seconds.
Boring. Boring.
Yeah.
Boring. Like your attention span is gone. You can no longer focus on the real world. You can't focus on anything. ADHD is being developed in real time from these apps, right? So the idea of me producing a 7-8 minute video like I used to, and people consuming all of it and understanding the context is gone. They'll take few seconds, like me saying I wouldn't administer CPR to a man, for example. And it was actually satire, of course. It's a joke. I talk at length about how...
that's the part.
That's the whole point. It's a joke. But they take that one part, they put it on a TikTok, boom, 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 they add some editing, they remove the tonality, they make it interesting and funny, and it goes viral. That's fine. But the point, we now live in a world where anything you ever say can be taken out of context. Anything you ever say can be weaponized against you. And I'm not complaining. I don't believe in complaining. I believe in responsibility. And I'm not saying I didn't say them. I'm not saying I didn't mean it. I'm saying that most of the people who are upset by things I've said have heard a few clips out of context and never actually digested any of my content seriously. You know, because that was part of a very long video. Yeah. The idea that I would let my brother die next to me, my own brother, or my friend die next to me.
Because he's not a hot chick.
Because he's not a hot chick. It's asinine. It's an aim, right? But it's stupid to even believe it. But if you watch the whole video at length, that makes sense. But if you only see that, then a product of the modern world where sensationalism gets clicks, where nobody has an attention span, and where they've taken long format content, completely removed all context, and they're now watching something they don't completely understand, along with groupthink, along with group psychosis, along with the idea that it's cool to hate Andrew Tate, they are now saying that I'm the worst man in the world. I can explain each and every one of these sentences, and with explanation, people will understand that I'm not some evil psycho. There's endless videos on TikTok of people going up to women on the street going, what do you think of Andrew Tate? And half of them actually say, we love Andrew Tate. I'd love to date a man like Andrew Tate. He's the kind of guy I like. The girls will say, I hate him. They say, why? He says, he talks bad about women. And then they say, what does he say bad? Every single one of them goes, I can't remember. They were told to believe it. Like they're told to wear the mask. They don't even know. They're NPCs. You know what's unfortunate about the world?
What's NPCs?
NPC is like a video game. You ever played a video game, a non-playable character?
Oh,
where you're like running around in an RPG and there's some character there who just repeats the same line over and over again? They're NPCs. You know what's unfortunate about the way the world is? Maths and statistics insist there's no way this can be broken. Unfortunately, half of the population are more stupid than average. That's the truth. There are a bunch of dumb people out there who just literally repeat what they're told. Tate's dangerous for women. Tate's dangerous for women. Why? So let's talk about, I said corruption's far more accessible in Eastern Europe. The reason I said that is because firstly, I live in Romania, which is a beautiful country full of beautiful people. I was living there and people often say to me, why do you live in a corrupt country? And my argument was, every country's corrupt. If you think America is not corrupt, you are living in a bubble. The world is corrupt. England's corrupt. They're all corrupt. The EU is corrupt. Russia's corrupt. Every country's corrupt. I would rather live in a corrupt country, considering that they're all corrupt, with corruption that's more accessible to myself, than in a country where they're going to pretend there's law and order unless you reach a certain level, and then you can access the corruption. I'll give you a very simple example. If you are, let's say, the husband of a senator, for example, and you DUI, let's just make this up, hypothetical.
This would never happen.
This would never happen
Because, yeah, for sure.
You know, like
this kind of stuff doesn't happen.
The greatest country in the world. There's no way that
husbands of senators don't drink. They
don't just DUI. But let's imagine you did, right? In America, you get off with it scot-free. But if you're a single mother or you're a single parent and you're out there working a minimum wage job and you're trying your very, very hardest and you have kids to raise, and you get a DUI, you're fucked. Now, I think it's kind of unfair that the corruption limit in a rich country, in this hypothetical super rich country, means that people at the absolute elite can do whatever they want and nobody else has access. I'll give you another example. Let's imagine you're in Serbia. Same scenario. You're a senator's husband and you get caught with DUI. Of course, nothing's gonna happen to you. But you're a normal person, you get caught with a DUI. Bro, I've had a hard day at work. I know I'm over the limit. I'm sorry. Here's 50 bucks. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna drive straight home. All right, cool. Go home. Bam. Accessible corruption. To me, that's a more of an appealing environment to live under than under a society where they're going to take a normal person, wreck them under the law, throw their ass in jail and fucking destroy them, and sit there and cry about law and order, law and order, law and order, when it's all bullshit anyway. There's no law and order. The threshold for corruption's too high. So for me as a person, you said I'm a chess player. If I'm a chess player and I analyze the chessboard, I have geographical freedom, I have financial freedom, I'm going to live in a society. Why don't I live in a society where I have the most possible moves to make on a chessboard? Where would I go? I'd go somewhere where my money can benefit me. I don't have billions. I'm not a senator's son, but I have enough to live in some other countries and be protected in some regards. That's just an intelligent chess move. I explained this at length in a video. All that context all removed, I was talking about speeding fines. They take the misogyny thing, they take something about rape, which is imaginary because I have no criminal charges against females, against anything in my life ever. They put it together, they take in the corruption from Romania, they throw that in, they whip it up, and they throw it out to the world. And it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And why they would say that. Now, what's actually interesting is Bucharest, the capital of Romania, where I live, is statistically 25 times safer than a city like London. It's not even a dangerous place. It's the most